Okay, how's it going, y'all? So we're going to read some more Carlos Marighella. This is characteristics of the urban guerrilla's tactics. Let's go ahead and get into this. The tactics of the urban guerrilla have the following characteristics. 1. It is an aggressive tactic, or in other words, it has an offensive character, as is well known. Defensive action means death for us. Since we are inferior to the enemy in firepower and have neither his resources nor his power base, we cannot defend ourselves against an offensive or a concentrated attack by the guerrillas. That is the reason why our urban technique can never be permanent, can never defend a fixed base, nor remain in any one spot, waiting to repel the circle of repression. 2. It is a tactic of attack and rapid withdrawal, by which we preserve our forces. 3. It is a tactic that aims the development of urban guerrilla warfare, whose function will be to wear out, demoralize, and distract the enemy forces, permitting the emergence and survival of rural guerrilla warfare, which is destined to play the decisive role in the Revolutionary War. Okay, so let's go ahead. That was a short one, so we're going to go ahead and get into the initial advantages of the urban guerrilla while we're here. Okay, so this is the initial advantages of the urban guerrilla. The dynamics of urban guerrilla warfare lie in the guerrilla's violent clash with the military and police forces of the dictatorship. In this conflict, the police have superiority. The urban guerrilla has inferior forces. The paradox is that the urban guerrilla is nevertheless the attacker. The military and police forces, for their part, respond to the conflict by mobilizing and concentrating greatly superior forces in the pursuit and destruction of the urban guerrilla. The guerrilla can only avoid defeat if he depends on the initial advantages he has and knows how to exploit them to the end, to compensate for his weakness and lack of material. The initial advantages are: 1. He must take the enemy by surprise. 2. He must know the terrain of the encounter. 3. He must have greater mobility and speed than the police and other repressive forces. 4. His information service must be better than the enemy's. 5. He must be in command of the situation and demonstrate a decisiveness so great that everyone on our side is inspired and never thinks of hesitating, while on the other side the enemy is stunned and incapable of acting. Let's go ahead and get into another one here, since these have been pretty short. This is a surprise. To compensate for his general weakness and shortage of weapons compared to the enemy, the urban guerrilla uses surprise. The enemy has no way to combat surprise and becomes confused and is destroyed. When urban guerrilla warfare broke out in Brazil, experience proved that surprise was essential to the success of any guerrilla operation. The technique of surprise is based upon 4 essential requirements. 1. We know the situation of the enemy we are going to attack, usually by means of precise information and meticulous observation, while the enemy does not know he is going to be attacked and knows nothing about the attackers. 2. We know the strength of the enemy we are going to attack, and the enemy knows nothing about our strength. 3. Attacking by surprise, we save and conserve our forces, while the enemy is unable to do the same and is left at the mercy of events. 4. We determine the time and place of the attack, fix its duration, and establish its objectives. The enemy remains ignorant of all of this information. Let's go ahead and maybe get into this. You know what? That's good right there. We'll finish off with surprise there. So thank y'all for tuning in. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Medium. This is Carlos Marighella writing. When I read on here, this is strictly for educational purposes. By the way, this may seem like it's controversial. However, this is history. This is nothing but history. This is warfare. That's what we read here. We believe in education and understanding what things are. You can't ever read the wrong thing. Let me tell you that much. That's something that I hope everybody understands, and particularly people in the United States, is that you can never read the wrong thing. You don't get evil demons and evil spirits from reading books that are evil. You know what I mean? That's not how reading works. Contrary to what a lot of us were told growing up. So thank y'all for tuning in. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Medium. All of these are Marxist. Y'all have a great day. Todara Goy.